tell us, where is the best golf trip that you've ever been on? We're very interested to hear. Always looking for good spots to go get some golf in outside of our own home state of Texas. So I saw this
Yeah.
questionable list on Reddit a while back, and they said they took the golfiness out of this rating. I don't want to quote the website where it came from, but we're going to put the results up. We'll just cover first one through three, and then kind of the way the slides work, we'll just kind of go through it. So, as you can see, the cost rank, course rank, and weather rank, overall, they have Kansas as the number one state for a golf, I guess, adventure or trip. I have spent a lot of time for work in northern Oklahoma. I said one day I was going to drive up to kind of southern Kansas, and to be honest, it's pretty damn bad. It's pretty boring. It's flat. It's a lot of farmland, and there's not much to Kansas. I admittedly, I've only seen a little bit of the state, but I've never, ever heard anybody else say Kansas was at the top of their golfing list. How about you?
Why are we going to Kansas? Why is Kansas a thing? If we're not talking like I just want to know what else is there to do in Kansas. What is there to do in Kansas?
Go to Kansas. What is it? Where do the Jayhawks play? Was that Lawrence,
Right.
Kansas? That's about it.
I just that or Kansas State. I just don't know, Rod. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's not a lot happening in Kansas. Even I work with a young lady from Kansas, and she definitely appreciates Dallas. Let's just say
Right.
that she does not go back to Kansas very often outside of family trips. I agree. I mean, when you go on a golf trip, a golf experience, you want to be able to, yes, golf is the main objective. If you're a golfer, golf is the main objective, but you
Yep.
also want to be able to go to a nice restaurant, enjoy yourself out on the town, go have fun, not just go chill in your
Right.
hotel room and watch TV. I don't know. You want something to do outside of that. So we both wholeheartedly disagree that Kansas should not be number one
Agreed.
on weather, court, maybe the courses, but even then they're 19, and the cost. Cost to me, like when it comes to golf, I'll pay whatever it takes. Cost does
100%.
not really cost does not come into my thought process when I think about a course. So if somebody told me today I had a chance to go play Pebble Beach, we know the rounds there are about $600 a pop. I'm gonna go pay the $600. I'm gonna go figure it out. If I'm down
Exactly.
bad and I got that invite, guess
So
what?
be
I'm gonna
it.
figure it out. I'm gonna go Uber or do something. If I was
Right.
in the worst position of my life, golf is something that I will pony up the money for. So that whole part about cost being, yeah, you missed
Obsolete.
me with that one. You
Exactly.
missed me. Let's kind of cover the next two and then go down this list even further. Minnesota, I can kind of get with that. The
Yeah.
weather being 20, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it's cold there, probably what, 6 months out of the year, 5 to 6 months out of the year, where there's possibly snow on the ground. That would
Right.
be a prohibitive factor for me. But in the summer, I've had a thought about going up to that kind of mid north, kind of trending north, but Midwest part of the country. Michigan, I've
Yeah.
heard has amazing golf. Wisconsin, which I think they're lower on the list as well. But I can see that Minnesota cost again didn't really come into play. But if the golf is good and it's cheap, that's pretty awesome. And
Right.
course rank. I mean, they're kind of mid on the course rank. I think this one probably got to number two strictly because of the cost. But
Yeah.
Minnesota, what do you think? I mean,
Minnesota's definitely feasible. And again, you got to think about what else is there. Like, not saying I'm just the biggest outdoorsman, but like we got the Great Lakes. It's probably a woodland, tree lined state. You know, that's stuff that I can look at and be like, cool. Like, yeah, let's like
yeah,
get involved in that. Like, let's go out on the lake. And then, of course, they don't have bad sports. Can always go to a Twins game. always go to like a Vikings or whatever it may be, early September, October before it gets too cold or whatnot. You know,
Yep.
Timberwolves, March, April, like there's things
They
to
got
do other
stuff.
than golf. Exactly.
Right. And you know, if they're a sports town like that, they have to have nice restaurants and decent, you know,
Exactly. It all
nightlife
goes
or
hand in
city life.
hand.
I can get with that. Minnesota's not a bad pick. Florida, I agree with being highly ranked on the list. Cost, I wholly agree with. Golf in Florida can be super expensive for no reason.
Right.
You know, it's a it's weird because like when we went to Myrtle Beach was our first official golf trip, and you know honestly for a good course we didn't it didn't feel like at that time we had to pay a lot for quality of courses, and I
Right.
would say that there's probably the same density of courses in Florida that there are in Myrtle Beach. You can just pretty much throw a rock in either direction in either of those states. I mean, Myrtle Beach is a city, but South Carolina in general, and then Florida, there's golf everywhere in Florida. So the cost thing, I don't know why it's so high there, but it is. From my experience playing out there in Orlando and Tampa, you're just like, why am I paying $80 for this course?
Yeah.
You know, for something kind of mid. But, you know, again, course ranks, quality. You're going to get a number of different terrain, as we've seen on the Florida Swing, even on the PGA Tour, from stuff that everybody's seen. Players looks very different from where they played the Valspar. You know, the Bay Hill course is a little bit flatter, but it still has some terrain, you know, and so
Yeah.
and then there's ones that are like super flat. So Florida gives you a little bit of everything. You know, outside of mountains, you're going to see a lot of different courses, you know, course types in Florida, whether you're central or on either coast. The terrain can be very different.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yep, and then of course the weather is generally pretty damn good. Let this
Yeah.
scroll through.
I feel like the weather should be a little bit like higher up in the rank, but I guess they if them being directly on the coast of the Gulf and the Atlantic, you probably get a little bit more rain showers than you would actually like or expect. Keep it a little bit more soaked or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just like what happened when we were going to Myrtle Beach. Like you attach Arnold Palmer, you attach Jack Nicklaus or whoever the top dogs, you know, Ben Crenshaw or whatever. You put that name on it, course designed by such and such. Oh, it's gonna tax itself. 100%.
Yeah.
Because remember, we played that one course that was a Jack Nicklaus course, and boy, I don't want to see that course ever again in my life. It was the worst $56 I ever spent with that $5 black bear. You know what I'm talking
Oh, it
about?
was so bad. It was so bad. The course conditions out there were so bad.
So
And
bad.
I don't
Like
want to discourage. That was I think that was what was it still South Carolina or did we cross into North Carolina for that course?
that was like North Myrtle Beach or something like that.
It was
It was
horrible.
bad
I
though.
don't
It was
know. It was so bad. So yeah. I
bad.
remember that vividly. My slide is not working, but I'm gonna kind of go through the next three because there's one I wholeheartedly disagree with on the last part of it. So number four is California. I agree with that. California golf is really good. Cost rank, they have it ranked as 41st. Um,
Out of
I don't
50.
know. I mean, I've played, yeah, out of 50. It wasn't that expensive to me. And I didn't play directly in the city, but I get it. Cost of living in
Yeah.
California is high. The course I chose, I think I you can shop for whatever you want. The course I played was actually pretty decent. It was a little bit outside of Los Angeles in the mountains, and it didn't seem like a crazy cost to me.
Yeah.
Course rank, they're not California's number one, which I agree with. Like their
Yeah.
courses, the layouts, you know, you're gonna get the terrain. Again, number of different climates, and you
Yeah.
can play mountain golf, parkland. You saw the mix again on the PGA Tour. Weather rank number six, I agree with that. Fifth is North Carolina. Yeah, there's a lot of good courses in North Carolina. Isn't that where? God,
All the
I'm
Pinehurst,
Pinehurst. That's what it is. All those
Tobacco
courses that are on
Road.
that
Yeah.
property. Yeah. So I get that. they're mid range in terms of cost at 18. Weather's 19, and then number six. Here's the one I disagree with. And again, this particular ranking system favored cost highly. Iowa, number six, or yeah, number six down. Cost rank is number six. Course rank is three. Weather rank is 24 because they have long winters too in Iowa. So again, overrated on the cost structure. I'm not a fan of that being the. It seems like they put a lot of weight on cost, and then course rank. I have no idea. All I do know is that there are no PGA Tour stops there. I don't even know if
Right.
there's even a Corn Ferry event in Iowa. So I think they go where good courses and quality courses are located. Um, yeah, I don't agree with that.
I, like you look at, I'm just trying to even recall Golf Digest list, top 100 public courses, top 100 exclusive courses. I'm not seeing Iowa on there.
Iowa does not come up in any of that.
Show
So
me the facts somewhere, please.
that's
Somebody,
that's
somebody.
that's a
If
miss for
anybody
me.
that's watching us, please, if you can
Yeah,
comment like where we need to like Google or search Iowa golf to find this, let us
yeah.
know. I'll be there in a heartbeat. I promise. I
If it's
promise.
good, yeah, convince
It's good.
me, convince us. Yeah. So let's round out the list. I won't even go through the individual rankings on it, but number seven, Arizona. Eight is Wisconsin. Nine, Idaho. And number 10 is Michigan. I'm going to go ahead and throw out Idaho.
Yeah,
Arizona, we've been there.
should
Quality
be
golf.
higher.
Yep, I agree. They're probably hurt by cost. Again, I think this
Right.
scale is highly hurt by cost, especially in the wintertime. Arizona, which is their prime season is kind of November through February. Yeah,
February.
all the snowbirds come down. I mean, when we played in late November, early December, it was 80 degrees every day. And so I get
Perfection.
it, but courses can get high. Wisconsin, great things. Kohler, Wisconsin, a lot of golf out there. Idaho, I have no idea how they're on this list. Even their rankings are not that great. Cost is 14, course rank is 28, weather is 9. That's a miss. God dang, I'd put Texas on there. I don't know. Maybe it's too hot in Texas. Maybe I don't know. But and then Michigan rounds it out, which we've heard good things about Michigan golf. Looks beautiful. I'm interested in seeing what playing on different grasses are like in the northern part of the U.S. versus
Yeah.
Bermuda, which is what we get a lot of down here. So anyway, if you're watching when I clip this, um, tell us where is the best golf trip that you've ever been on. We're very interested to hear. Always looking for good spots to go get some golf in outside of our own home state of Texas. So
Absolutely.
that's the topics for the day. You got anything else that you want to hit on from the world of golf this week?
Um. Well, first let's just conclude the list and then let's go into some March Madness stuff.
That's
Idaho,
the list.
I just don't
Oh
get
yeah, go
it.
ahead.
Like I feel like Utah should be in there. Like the things I've heard about Utah, I'd understand. Like even like a state like a Oregon, I'll put up with the rain because I love like woodland like courses. It's very
Yeah.
temporal up there in Pacific North. Or would you say Washington has better weather? Which one would you prefer? Because you've been up there, kind of like in the area. I know you've been to Washington, but did you
Yeah, and
touch
we went down.
Oregon
We
or
went down to
anything?
Oregon. Yeah, we
Yeah.
went down to Oregon as well. I would say we went in June, and they were in a drought, and it was warm there. I mean, it was kind of mid 80s, and that was in June. So, I wouldn't mind going, a month earlier when it was a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Oregon and Washington have similar, you know. Temperatures. I think Oregon's a little bit cooler, just because it's a little more woody.
Yeah.
Even though Washington is pretty dense in woodlands itself, but I hate it that I didn't bring my clubs on that trip. But it was a family trip, so I didn't travel with my clubs and get around in that week. But I would have probably preferred to play in Washington.